there has been a lot of noise surrounding the Los Angeles Lakers with all the craziness that has been going on within the last week plus with this team. However, they somehow managed to make one sneaky move that nobody is talking about. We're going to talk about what that move is and the implications that it will have on the Los Angeles Lakers here as they continue to push their way toward the top of the Western Conference. And welcome to Lakers Digest here, guys. My name is Hunter Pitcoff. We cover everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers. This channel is growing quick, just like how the rumors and everything surrounding your Los Angeles Lakers are spreading quick. So we appreciate the love. We appreciate the outpour support. However, if you have been keeping up with our content or you're new and you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Because look at this, guys. 90% of you guys watching, tapping in, are not subscribed. So all we ask, if you are a fan of the content, you want to keep up with everything surrounding your Lakers, because I promise you, that's what we do here on Lakers Digest. We cover everything. Stop what you're doing right now. Just click that subscribe button before we get into today's video, because, guys, I don't want to keep you waiting too much longer here. Lakers trade for a former Laker. So you're probably like, what are you talking about, Hunter? The trade deadline was this Thursday. All the trades are done, but not quite. Keep up with me here now, because we have a new report here surrounding the, not Los Angeles Lakers per se, but the South Bay Lakers, the NBA G League affiliate for the Lakers, as they report today that the South Bay Lakers acquire forward Stanley Johnson. The team sends returning player rights to guard Devontae Graham and forward Vincent Valerio Bodon to the Rip City Remix. So that is the Portland Trailblazers G League affiliate team. So out goes Devontae Graham, somebody who has a ton of NBA experience, mainly with the Pelicans and with the Hornets and with the Spurs. Thought maybe perhaps he could be a nice addition to the Lakers, but does not end up making the Lakers full-time roster. And Valerio Bodon, he was someone who was with the Los Angeles Lakers G League as well as the Lakers Summer League team, but he ultimately is going to go to the Rip City Remix here. So Stanley Johnson ends up going now to the South Bay Lakers. And a lot of Laker fans, you guys might be very familiar with Stanley Johnson's game, because he is a Cali native. He is a Los Angeles, California, more so California superstar on the high school basketball scene. He played ball at Mater Dei. That's one of the biggest high schools in the state of California. Dude was phenomenal there. If you are old enough like I am to remember the Ball's Life mixtapes, that dude was a man amongst boys in high school. He ends up going to Arizona, playing for the Wildcats for one season before becoming the 8th pick by the Detroit Pistons in the 2015 NBA draft. And while he was a superstar in high school, was a phenom in college, a top 10 pick, ends up not really living up to that status in the NBA, as he ends up kind of bouncing around from a lot of different teams, from the Detroit Pistons to the Pelicans, the Lakers, the Utah Jazz, and ultimately now he's actually out of the NBA as he was playing overseas in Turkey, in EuroLeague. So that's actually where he's been playing basketball over the last year or so. And as well, I guess, wasn't 100% sure on this, but I guess the Portland Trailblazers G League team, the Rip City Remix, had his rights or something along those lines, the fact that they were able to trade him. So I guess the question is, we're going to talk about how can Stanley Johnson be a good fit for this Los Angeles Lakers team? Is he going to make his second chance with the Lakers count? And we're going to talk about that right now. So should the Lakers bring Stanimal to the varsity team? So from the South Bay JV team to the Los Angeles varsity team, if you want to, put it in those kind of terms, for Stanley Johnson. So Stanley Johnson did in fact play for the Los Angeles Lakers. This was during the 2021-22 season, when he, I believe midway through the year, a little before midway through the year, ended up finding his way on the Los Angeles Lakers roster, and that was a disastrous season. That was the first year of the Russell Westbrook experiment. We know Anthony Davis missed a ton of games that year, and the Los Angeles Lakers failed to make the playoffs during the first year of the LeBron James with Anthony Davis era, and it's the only year that they did not make the playoffs. So it was, of course, a bad year. Westbrook turned out to not be a great fit with those guys, and we all kind of know what happens from there. But Stanley Johnson was one of the bright spots on this team. So looking at his career stats here, guys, again, for a former high school All-American or a McDonald's All-American, a standout freshman year at the University of Arizona, top 10 pick, really did not live up to the billing in the NBA here. So if you look here, you never average more than, double digits in points. The percentages from the field, not particularly great, although he definitely was shooting the ball a bit better later on in his career. And he was included in that trade for, cover your eyes, guys, cover your ears, Patrick Beverley. Taylor Horton-Tucker and him were included in that deal to bring Pat Bev to the Los Angeles Lakers from the Utah Jazz. So that's the last time we saw Stanley Johnson in a Lakers uniform. But he did do some very good things for the Los Angeles Lakers, and perhaps this is why he could be a good fit yet again in LA. So let's talk about the pros. Let's talk about the cons of Stanley Johnson. And Stanimal, that was his nickname back in high school because the dude is a beast. If you look at his physical profile, he is 6'6", 240 pounds. Like, that is, you're reaching, like, NFL player size at that point, if he really wanted to. So, if he added another, 20 pounds, he could be a tight end in the NFL. Like, that's how big and physical Stanley Johnson is, and it shows. He is strong. Like, that dude is an ox. And while the NBA now is a lot of different cardio and, guys are, getting lighter and more agile and quicker, Stanley Johnson is a beast. Like, this dude is going to run through you. He is not going to run around you. So that is a type of sheer athleticism and strength Stanley Johnson has. He's also still, despite the fact drafted in 2015, guys, which is 10 years ago at this point, which makes me feel old. I was at that draft as a fan. Stanley Johnson is still only 28 years old. Like, he's a young player. He was only 19 when he got drafted. So this is somebody who's still pretty young. And this, at 28 years old, you're considered kind of in the prime of your career, if your career is kind of going in the right trajectory here. So that was, I guess not the case as he's been playing overseas and not playing particularly well overseas. I don't want to rip on Stanley Johnson too much here, but, the numbers aren't really great, as you can look here. Shooting very well from the field, but the production has not quite been there for Stanley Johnson. But what he does bring is he's a very good defender, and he's a very versatile one. And we know what J.J. Redick wants to run this kind of defense, a switchable defense with the Los Angeles Lakers, and Stanley Johnson is going to be able to do that. He is quick and athletic enough to guard smaller players, but big and strong enough to guard bigger players. So positions 1 through 4, and even at 5 in a pinch, in a switchable defense like that scheme, Stanley Johnson's going to thrive in. So that's the positives. The negatives with Stanley Johnson is he doesn't have much of a bag offensively. He's good at getting to the rim. He can draw contact, and that's really about it. It's an okay mid-range shot, but the three-point shot has never been there as we look at the stats here yet again, guys. He is a career, as I'm trying to look at the numbers for you guys here. I don't have the career numbers here, which is probably my fault. But even if you look down the list here, guys, never really shot greater than, 35%. I know he had the weird stretch with the Kings where he shot 45% from 3, but that's a little bit of an outlier. Stanley Johnson has never been a great shooter. He wasn't in high school. Weirdly did shoot 40% at Arizona, but I guess just had a really good shooting season there. But Stanley Johnson has never really been a great shooter. And to play with Luka Doncic and LeBron, you're going to need shooting. And so the Los Angeles Lakers, that in today's NBA is going to be a problem to bring in a guy like that. They already played Jared Vanderbilt. He kind of fills that role that Stanley Johnson, I guess, would. So ultimately, I don't know if Stanley Johnson is going to be the right fit for the Lakers. They also brought in Jordan Goodwin recently. He's been playing good defense, and he gives you some scoring ability, which Stanley Johnson doesn't necessarily do that. So I'm good with the Lakers trading for him, seeing how he does in the G League. I think he's someone who has role player potential, and has played with LeBron James before. But I'm not 100% sure that he's going to be the right guy here in Los Angeles. But let me know down below in the comments, guys. I have heard you guys bring up Stanley Johnson as a potential name for the Lakers to go get. So that's why I wanted to make a video on him. And, we have some news that the Lakers, the South Bay Lakers getting him, means that at least the upper front office for the Los Angeles Lakers, Rob Pelinka and them, do have a sense that they do kind of like him and will, maybe give him a look and we'll see ultimately where it goes from there. But again, guys, the channel has been growing crazy. We've been putting up awesome numbers, and the reason why I'm putting up those awesome numbers is because you guys, you're the viewers. So if you've watched this video all the way through, and you're a fan of the content, or you hate it and you just want to keep up with it, which I don't recommend, but, I guess, do what you want. 90% of you guys are not subscribed watching our content. So all I ask, if you like what you see, stop what you're doing right now, hop on this bandwagon, punch your ticket now before it gets too late. Click that subscribe button. It's free and don't cost you a dime, so you can keep up with everything surrounding your Lakers here on Lakers Digest.